the ability for a boat owner to now go on and be able to do self-help and find the small parts and make it quick and easy, that's what we're trying to do with this web shop.
Okay, with me, Scott Alexander. We're connected, and you are somewhere down south. And we're up here in Newport. But we're going to talk websites today. I got to note that you Selden has a fancy new site, and I can go buy everything I need on it. And so I wanted to see if you could take me a walk through the site today.
Yeah, happy to. We call it our web shop. We just launched it at the beginning of this month, and we've been in the mass business since the 60s. We make a lot of accessories, and owners in the past, we've always sold through B2B. So we had dealers. And it's to the point now where there's so many Selden customers out there, boat owners, obviously, that need small spare parts or screws or, replacement items. And we felt it was important to give them some type of a concierge experience where they could just go direct, learn about what they need, find the part they need, and buy it, via e-commerce direct. Seldenmass.com, and Selden is Selden, mass.com.
Okay.
This is the landing page. And basically you can see we're talking about the online store here, and it says click on shop. So that's top right here.
Okay.
Unless you're really enjoying all the photos, then you can kind of hang out a little bit. But we get into here, and we have some nice title bars across the top. One thing we're trying to make very clear here is that we're only shipping right now to the contiguous USA, so no Alaska and no Hawaii. So the first thing you'll see here is we've got some title bars at the top, deck hardware. You can see that we show blocks, roller bearing blocks, etc., as well as some new products that we're highlighting over here. These double fair leads, I tell you, we can't keep them in stock. We sell so many of these. It's amazing. And it's just basically a block normally used for a endless furling line that's used on a code or a top-down furler, but people put everything in these things,
All right, well, that's a hot item then.
Yeah, and then if you just we just go into blocks, for example, like high load blocks, you can see really good clear pictures. You can zoom in. At the bottom, there's technical information as far as safe working load, braking load, things like that. And then, as you mentioned, the recommended product. So one thing which would be kind of fun to do is if, say, someone wanted to do a 2-to-1 halyard, right? This would be used for a 2-to-1 halyard, but yet we're showing you a nice fitting that allows you to dead end the halyard at the mast. It's a drop through backing plate, and then the soft shackle will go to here that the halyard's attached. So you can really put together a kit while you're shopping. You can say, okay, well, I need the backing, I need the block, and well, we probably need some fair leads, right? So that would be under rig hardware. So let's do halyard leads. Right, so these are the leads you could use to, make sure the halyard's not chafing as it exits the shiv box, right? So the halyard would come down through here to the block, and then below would be that the backing plate for the 2-to-1. So you can go through here and not only see the stuff, but you can start to envision. Let's see here, furler spare parts, right? You can get into like, let's just go down to, this would be one of our code furlers, right? There's that famous product, but you can get into like, the guy needs this is the clevis pin that holds the thimble into the drum. Here's the line splitter. Here's the grub screw, right? I mean, you can buy a grub screw for $5 and you don't have to deal with anyone. Winches, that's another thing a lot of people need to learn that Selden actually has a range of manual and electric winches. And by them coming on to maybe buy that grub screw, they're going to learn about the winches.
Mm.
If you need a local dealer, you can see that there's a click through here, and you can either browse the map this way or scroll down by state. And obviously, there's some things that are installation sensitive. Like if it holds up the mast, you can't really buy it. You can't buy that on the web shop. If it's a rigging piece of rigging, you need to go through one of our dealers. Or if you're interested in a winch, you can purchase the winch, but if you want someone to install it, they'll do a great job doing the install, but also be able to provide you a discount.
Mm.
So the one thing we don't do is undercut our dealers on pricing here because they're still a very important thing. But as far as convenience for the customer, the ability to get the spare parts they need or to create the kits they need to do the upgrade on their um, on their boat, that's what it's all about.
What's behind that window there? Upgrade your boat.
Yeah. So if you go in here and you find your boat, maybe you will see an Alden 44. If you put in some information and hit next, it'll calculate things like travelers and jib furlers and things like that. The other thing, we're actually on the website now. One really nice thing is what we call our calculators here. And one thing with almost all the products that we produce, especially if it's something that holds up the rig, is we talk about righting moment.
Mm.
And righting moment is something you can actually calculate here for your particular boat. So say you want to buy a jib furler, right? And most often it's you need to know the diameter of the wire and the pin size and the length, and you're good to go. But maybe you're between two sizes and you don't know what to do. You come in here, put in the beam, draft, ballast displacement, calculate the RM, and now you have a righting moment at 30 degrees, which basically means when the boat's heeled over 30 degrees, all the rig moments are created by the boat wanting to stand up again, right? All the boats, because of the keel, and they all want to stand back up. So that relates to rig load. So that's what the righting moment is. So we're able to do that for the customer through these calculators. And then you
cool.
can, yeah. And then there's some other fun ones to poke through here. Like if you finally bought a Furlex calculator and you wanted to figure out all the math needed to put it together so it's the proper length, you can do that too. So,
what's new with Selden today?
well, if we just sit here and watch the items go across, there's a nice barber hauler that's really exciting for people that need to barber haul their Genoa sheet, a little more performance oriented. We do make a full range of deck hardware, and this is one of our performance version travelers. You can see the setup for German sheeting. This is a really good product here. It's our electric Code Zero furler. We have a lot of new blocks that are tie-on, not only starting at 30 mil, but going up to 70 mil blocks. So as you enter this site, what we think is fun and size is up front, and then you can kind of go down here, and there's that double fair lead we can't keep in stock. No, we can. It's just
it's the hot item. You need to have the hot button going there.
Yeah. Jenner bowsprits are a big deal. People are all sailing with ASIMs now, pretty much. And to be able to get the sail out in front of the forestay makes it breathe a lot easier, getting away from the main, and also jibing, it's a lot easier. If you can get the luff of the sail around so you can see it where you're driving on a tight angle, it's really helpful. So,
yeah, in a second, let's go through blocks and this pin stop halyard tensioner. Where are you seeing those being used today?
It's funny. When we released this, it was amazing at how many people didn't even know these things existed.
Yeah.
And their replies were, "I've had my halyards coiled at the mast forever, and I can't see around the mast to see the bow." And they're so excited about it, and we are too. So we do a nice little blow up here. and there's different sizes based on basically on the length of
Yep.
them.
Yeah.
And you can get in here and start to see a little close-up pictures. But so basically, you're getting rid of the tail of the halyard,
Yeah.
attaching it to a car that has different pin stops here. And when you get it tensioned, you then release the lower line, which is what you were doing to get the right tension. It finds its hole, and now you've got a nice clean mast setup. So,
Nice. Cruisers
and
love that.
then here's some more info. Learn how to use it. We actually have a manual that we've created so people understand, this is showing how to hoist the halyard,
Hmm.
right? Because there's eyes on either end of it. So we give them ways to figure out that, and we show all the step by steps of how to pull the sail up and secure it using the halyard track.
Yeah. So you find a lot of that's the head sails living on furlers and um little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or furling, yeah, furling mast, head sails, and you see more and more boats with two furlers, Selden rig setup on the bow, and yeah, it's just a nice way to clean it up, make it easier,
Very
or I say,
cool.
pip your ride.